jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, wrestling. It's been rumored that you can't actually be good at all three. My guest today proves otherwise. He's a professional, undefeated mixed martial artist with an established amateur record in both MMA and kickboxing. I could stretch this out by listing out all of his accomplishments, but we'd be here for a while. Please, help me in welcoming a longtime friend and training partner, the ever dangerous...
Max, when did we meet, man? Like, what was it, 2014, 2012? I started jiu-jitsu in 2011?
I'd say 2012, 2013.
It's been like 7 years, dude.
7, 8, yeah.
Time flies. Where did you first hear about mixed martial arts, and where did this whole thing start from the very beginning?
Well, I guess martial arts I knew about my whole life, but that was just the traditional martial arts from that everybody sees, like the
after school karate,
The way I really got into it was I saw Andrei Arlovsky.
Yeah.
He just knocked out a guy in 15 seconds, and he's not Russian, but he's Belarusian, so it's kind of. We can claim him kind of. He's a bro. Whatever. Come on. So I guess that really attracted me to it, and I started training in 2011, right here at M1 Thai Boxing.
Okay, so this was your first gym.
This was my first gym. 16 when I came here, so it was 2007. I wanted to do it, but it's just a matter of finding a gym, being able to get here, having the money.
You just do a Google search and you found this guy, you found Alex Ricci?
Word of mouth.
Gotcha.
Word of mouth. But even before that, I already started looking at videos. I already started doing what I could.
Did you personally seek out Muay Thai in particular? Because it doesn't seem like it's strictly traditional Muay Thai. It's very fluid versus the very walk you down kind of style of fighting I see.
No, I did seek out Muay Thai, but I guess I just kind of adopted a certain style. This gym, it's not like a traditional Muay Thai style. They incorporate a lot of boxing, so it's it's not old school.
Right.
It's a little more refined, in my opinion.
At what point did you realize, this is sick, I want to do this, and I actually want to get in the cage or get in the ring, and I want to fight?
I had my first amateur fight a year into training, and I was living here. I was doing all the classes, and everybody just, I guess, saw potential, and I got a lot of attention from the coaches.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I had my first fight a year from the point that I first started, and then I went on to have about 10 amateur fights.
I don't know why, but this entire time I thought you were 3 or 4 fights in Muay Thai.
No.
But it's a full 10. It was
10 amateur fights. I mean, I wasn't that successful in Muay Thai career. I lost a couple of close decisions where I felt like they should have gone my way. But yeah, I fought some big names actually on the Muay Thai. At that time, some decent guys. I fought for an amateur title in Muay Thai.
Nice.
Didn't really live up to my potential in Muay Thai. But yeah, no, I was very serious about it. I was training every day. I was training with high level guys. The owner of this place, Alex Ricci, me and him used to go at it. Some guys, some of my old training partners, they went on to have great careers, they're doing big things.
I find the coach-student relationship is actually really interesting. You mentioned Alex Ricci. He seems like a big influence in the striking side of things. It's fair to say we both had multiple coaches over the years, but very specific coaches for me they've imparted very specific things into my game. What did Ricci do for you in that regards?
Well, I kind of mirrored my striking style after him. If you want to get technical, he developed my kicking game. The way I move is very, again, like you said earlier, it's not that traditional style. It's a little more mobile, more fluid, a lot more movement. So I kind of copied him in that sense.
It's a very modern style kickboxing.
Yeah. So I mirrored my style after him, and obviously the work ethic and just the approach to martial arts.
And then at what point did you start, what point did the jiu-jitsu seed get planted? Or I guess mixed martial arts?
The whole time I was fighting kickboxing, I knew at the back of my head that no matter how good I get, and I don't mean to ruffle any feathers, but I can be a world champion kickboxer, and somebody with a blue belt in jiu-jitsu and a year of wrestling would still beat me up in a fight. So that kind of didn't set well with me. Also, I got a little bit burned out from training kickboxing because I had to keep a very low weight, which I don't, my personal opinion is I don't recommend starving yourself because it's to make weight, that is, because like it's gonna kill your desire to keep doing this. So I started just going through the motions. I wasn't as like I lost the fire, so that kind of so I tried the jiu-jitsu to just because of that. Just
have some fun.
mix it up. Yeah, just kind of switch over, try something new. I was getting burned out from kickboxing.
100%.
So yeah, but I had 4 years of experience in kickboxing, and then I went to Bravado Jiu-Jitsu and did a year there.
I've always just known you as a guy that just trained at Grant's.
Yeah, so
Previously known as Grant's.
after I did a year of Bravado, I moved to Grants just because the reason why I started Jiu-Jitsu was not to compete in Jiu-Jitsu, but it was to fight MMA. I was just one of these guys that had a striking background and moved into MMA, but I knew that there was a huge gap I needed to close, and yeah, so I started Bravado it was close to home, but then I needed to move to a gym that's more catered to MMA. So
Well, it seems like if that generation of jiu-jitsu and grapplers, like the jiu-jitsu fighters and grapplers that came out of that gym, that seemed like a pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a hell of a crowd.
Yeah,
Like, if anything, like they're all really accomplished now
Yes.
for the scene.
yes.
So, and hey man, it speaks to your
That's
level.
where I met a lot of the guys that I train with now.
Damn. Okay. So in that case, how long? And would you say that's where you did a majority of your MMA training?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, for sure. That's number one. But then I would also meet up with some guys spar at open mat. That was Sundays. So
You went to Sunday Open Mat.
Yeah, at open mat MMA back when I was on Wellesley, young and Wellesley. So I got for a few last 3 of my fights. I was getting ready there.
True.
But obviously mostly at Grants. I was there every day pretty much.
Okay, so if Ricci kind of gave you like a more modern style of kickboxing, right, a little bit more updated than like that traditional Thai style, what did Grants do for you?
More at Grants, I was just putting everything together. I was doing lots of jiu-jitsu there because, like you said, lots of good guys came out of that place. So that's where I really started training. Like I wasn't really competing in jiu-jitsu, but I was just training with the competitive guys because I knew that was like big gap in my game, and the sooner I close that, the sooner I can go pro. The sooner I'm ready because my striking was at a high level, well, relatively speaking, and then but I was a white belt in jiu-jitsu, so that really motivated me. I was training like I was the guy that people were getting annoyed with me because I just kept bothering them. I wanted to roll after practice. I wanted to drill.
Hey, show me this. Show me this.
Yeah, it was just people were like avoiding eye contact with me, but I whatever. I was very motivated. I wanted to close that gap. I wanted to fight MMA as soon as possible.
So you're at the amateur career for mixed martial arts then?
Yeah, so I had like 5 amateur fights, and a lot of my training partners were telling me I should have just gone pro earlier. And looking back, I probably agree, but whatever, it is what it is.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your record for amateur?
4-1.
4-1. Damn.
And that one loss was like a very questionable split decision.
Got you. Yeah. It's still dubious now. It's like the legality of amateur mixed martial arts in Ontario. So back then, it was probably even sketchier.
Oh, these were in Quebec.
Oh, you went out, eh?
Yeah.
What was the promotion?
Hybrid.
Cool. How did you find that whole experience with from the first fight to the last fight? Was the level good? Was it too much for you? Was it not enough? Was it like this was a good learning experience each step of the way?
Yeah, it was a good learning experience. My last amateur fight was I won the featherweight title in that promotion. It was good, It was kind of just like a testament to all my hard work. And I had one fight, I believe, in the States. Nice. In New York. That was fun too. But yeah, man, it's just a testament to all my hard work. I started actually taking people down in amateur, which surprised a lot of people. I was like taking people down and like working some ground stuff, and because during my amateur fighting days, I was just that striker that everybody's trying to take down, and I was just fighting off the takedowns. So it was that generic.
Right, striker versus grappler matchup.
Yeah. But then in my last amateur fight, I took took the guy down a bunch of times, started working my ground game. So yeah, that really like, because as I said, I was really concentrated on the jiu-jitsu, and I saw that be on display throughout the amateur career.
I'm actually really curious about the way you would go into these fights then, because that striker versus grappler matchup, it's like I've noticed people on the amateur circuit especially, they start like you look up your opponent, right? Like, what's this guy do? You look at his you look at his record, you find the highlight reels. Did you kind of bill yourself as a striker that entire time? Was that what, like, was the track record already there?
I don't know. I was never really like, I never really put too much of myself out there. I was just, I was always focused on just my training, never too much on promoting myself. But I just knew in the back of my head that everybody like this guy is like a blue belt or a purple belt, so he's obviously gonna be better on the ground than me. And I just I did have anxiety. I was scared that I was just gonna get taken down and just ground and pounded, and just worried about feeling helpless. But no, I held my own, more or less. So
somewhere here, I'm just going to showcase of like that Instagram highlight, like right here in the frame, like of you just like being a people, just like striking. He's being humble right now, this guy.
Nah, I mean, I wasn't at like a world class level, but if you're to speak in jiu-jitsu terms, maybe like a purple belt level.
Anyway,
I put in the work, but there's still a long way to go.
No, there's just a picture on Instagram where it's like you have like no, it's like you're at 135.
Oh yeah, that was for the pro fight, which was not, which I don't think that was necessary.
Fair enough.
But my opponent was as big as me, so
Gotcha. It negated itself.
Yeah, it did. But like, I guess it's normal. It's not unheard of for guys my size to fight at 135. Yeah.
Amateur to pro. At what point did you realize you were ready to go pro?
When I won the amateur title, I was like, okay, like that. I checked that box. Okay, like I'm ready. And I was just like training with a lot of pros at the time, and I was holding my own. I was doing well. So yeah, I was confident. I was ready.
Good. You just knew it's time to step up to the new.
I put in the work. At that point, I had like eight years of striking under my belt, and like 3 years of only 3 years of jiu-jitsu. Yeah, so I was like a blue belt. Yeah.
Okay.
But I felt that was enough to at least get me by. So.
It's clear, yeah. Well, it's funny because then now we actually get to the fight, like the actual professional fight.
Yeah. It's actually funny. That was my first cut to 135. I barely made it. Like I, for sure, lost years of my life getting down there. I was like a skeleton. And drove to the weigh-in, which was probably should have been illegal. Yeah. So then I made a mistake of going to the keg after the weigh-in, and I had steak, so I just went off.
That's like intuitively speaking, it's like, no, you're depleted, you want to eat, like go get a steak. Like that seems like an okay idea.
No, but when you're eating nothing but like egg whites and chicken breasts, like leading up to it. And then you eat a steak all of a sudden, your body's saying what the hell are you doing, right? So that actually did not digest. And then I ate a lot, mind you. So this was the night, the afternoon before the fight. I'm sitting in my house the evening before, and I'm like, this thing is just sitting here. Like I feel terrible. Like it's just not going down the whole time. So I'm already kind of worried. But whatever. I go to sleep. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's obviously gonna digest overnight, right? I wake up, still the same thing. It's just sitting there, and I'm like letting out gas. So this thing, my stomach got so small that this thing just came, and like I couldn't, it wouldn't go down, right? So I had this feeling all the way in the locker room. In the locker room, I'm so worried. Like I'm keeping it together. Obviously, I can't like just for my own sake, right? I gotta make at least convince myself that I'm ready. But yeah, the whole time I'm just I have this thing. I just have this terrible upset stomach. I'm one body shot away from just losing. So yeah, that wasn't the best circumstances, but I don't know by what miracle I still held it together. I put on a good performance, so whatever. It would have been really crappy if I had lost, but whatever. I got it done.
I was going to say, you would have never guessed. Like, you looked like you put on a clean, like, you put on a clinic. Like, you took the guy down and held him in half guard, beat him up.
That's the key word. I held him in half guard because I could not do nothing. I could not scramble. I could not.
Oh, it was that bad.
It was that
You're not exaggerating. One shot, like, it was.
One shot. I was one shot away. I even threw up a little bit. Like on the mat, on the canvas, there was some, yeah. So yeah, that was, I don't know by what miracle I won. Yeah.
Mark of a professional here. Mark of a professional. My God.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a crazy experience in itself. Robin Black interviewed you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I do regret that in a way because not the Robin Black interview, but I wasn't really able to enjoy my win because I had such bad like stomach problems like days after that fight.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Good to know weight cutting advice, eh?
It's not even weight cutting advice.
It's just like post rehydrate.
Yeah. That's where a lot of guys go wrong actually.
Expand on that. What do you mean? Like you've seen this? So this is not just you. You've seen this before in other people.
I heard about it. Like there's a science to it.
Fair enough. Like just trying to like gorge yourself after eating. That's not the way to do it.
No. Because your stomach is not used to digesting high volumes of food, right? So you want to take sips and then like you want to ease your way in there. Yeah.
Oh, food for thought. No pun intended. There you go. Without naming names, I once saw two individuals rolling. One caught the other in an ankle lock. And to this day, I still remember sitting. I was like sitting there watching them like this, and then he grabs the ankle lock. I'm like, oh, that's tight. And before you know it, like all I hear is a pop. The interaction was still so funny. It's like, dude, I'm so sorry. Why didn't you tap? But it's like,
I think I might know.
The point is like both parties are at fault here.
Yeah.
However, it's like the thing I took away from that, like for the rest, is just like it's. Like no, it's just a tried and true story. It's just tap, right? Like you don't need to go to ADCC in the gym, right?
Okay.
So that's a small story that I remember. Is there anything like that that kind of really sticks out?
But I don't know. To be honest, I've been on that. I've been always leaning towards a side that doesn't tap and just try to. You kind of leave it up to chance. Not leave it up to chance, but everybody gets competitive, I guess, right? You want to push your limits. Sometimes it doesn't work out quite as well, but I feel like if you're gonna fight, you have to be on that extreme side of things. You have to be a little bit, like if you're gonna pick one extreme, like you tap too early or you tap too late, you have to be like, you don't have to, but
you take chance. You got to take chances.
In my opinion, yeah. If you're gonna fight, if you're gonna compete, you have to be on the side of you have to be skewed to that side that's taking chances.
I remember hearing a quote a long time ago. It's like if you're not willing to break my arm, there's no reason for me to tap, right? Yeah. And I agree too. Like I really do feel that. It's like if you're not willing to actually hurt me, it's like then why is there any reason for me to feel any threat from you, right? It makes sense, man. It makes sense.
Yeah, you have to know when to tap. You have to avoid injury and all that. But sometimes you can escape a submission like right at the end. Yeah. Whereas if you would have tapped, that's it. You wouldn't have gotten that escape. Some escapes are still possible. Like
there's always got to be a window light. There's always got to be a light. You can always win. You can always get out.
Yeah.
You got to bleed.
You have to. Yeah.
I have a hard time articulating that with other people, and not a lot of people. It doesn't click. It doesn't click too well. What's your nickname? What do they call you?
Cucaracha.
What does that mean? For the people that don't know, what does that mean?
Well, people say it's actually like in Portuguese. It's actually my jiu-jitsu coach George Brito. He actually gave me that name because I look Mexican. So that means in Portuguese that actually means like cholo, yeah. But.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought the common sense thing was
it's like cockroach. Yeah. Also, I guess people. I guess that's why I caught on. Because I am. Yeah.
I'll substantiate this. This man is the hardest. He's the hardest guy to choke out. It's like you can have fully locked in guillotines and like you let go to check if he's okay, and he just looks up as if there's nothing wrong. It's almost impossible to tap.
I paid the price. I mean, I've been put out quite a few times, so it is what it is. But if you're gonna compete, if you're gonna try to compete at a high level, you have to be willing to go till the end, pretty much, to risk being put out.
How do you tell, like, what do you tell yourself in your head? Like, in the moments where things are looking bad, right? Like, even in the gym, like, with competition gym, but it's like, and you're caught in like, and I've had you in guillotines before where it's like, I swear to God, like, anyone else would tap right now, right? But it's like, you get out, you escape. What's going through your head? What's keeping you thinking, like, he doesn't have this? Well, like, if you can articulate that, what's the secret? What's the sauce?
There's, I don't know why, I don't know why this stuck with me, but this is actually I'm pretty sure it's like a common story or like a parable, I think that's what it's called. So basically 2 mice, they got stuck in a bunch of butter. One, yeah, I know. I don't know why. I literally like would think about this as I'm getting choked. Like 2 mice, one gets stuck in butter. Sorry, they both get stuck in butter. One just checks out, says whatever, I'm done, and just dies. The other one, no, sorry, they got stuck in milk or some liquid, right? One just checks out, dies. The other one just starts moving as hard, like it seems hopeless, but he just starts moving, like trying to get out. And eventually the milk turns into butter and he gets out. So yeah, so you can either just kind of fold your arms and just like accept defeat, call it a day, or you can try, you can do something. You can you can choose one path or the other. So I don't know why, like when it was hopeless, I would think of that would come to my head for some reason, and I would just like move. I would just like try to do something and create any little space.
Just to hold on that much longer.
Hold on that much longer. And another thing I would do is I'd count to 10. Yeah. Try to count to 10. Like from the moment I'm about to, where I would tap, I'm just gonna hold 10 more seconds.
That makes total sense. Yeah. Everyone has their own kind of story. Like I kind of just see like light at the end of the tunnel, or it's kind of like, well, it's like the other match for a second, you know? It's like this is it, this is how it ends. But then it's like, do you really want it to be like end like this? Mm-hmm. And the answer is always no. God, no. I would not want it to end like this, no matter what. Like that's the most pathetic thing I could see in my head. Now, not in the gym. That's like you lose in the gym, you lose in the gym. But it's like, yeah.
And sometimes I'll think if there's a fight to the death, I'm dead, right? So that kind of gave me a little more. True. Give me a little more spark.
This has been great. I guess if there's one last topic I do kind of want to touch on then is for beginners, like have your journey from like white belt to brown belt. Yeah. If you could have any advice to give to like the white belt max or even just like anyone new starting out, what would you kind of tell them?
Well, obviously like injury prevention, that's huge. Like you want to do this for a long time, so make sure you're warming up, make sure you're stretching, make sure you're listening to your body. Also just, learn as much as you can, whereas it would be from your peers, from your coaches, or online. There's lots of great resources out there. Just like every day you have to train, it's a gift, right? Because there's gonna be injuries, there's gonna be staff, there's gonna be like whatever, there's gonna be like problems with work or whatever. So whenever you can train, you should train.
Every day is a blessing. I like that.
Treat it as a gift. Every day you can train.
I really like that. Yeah. Especially since I got my thing going on too right now. Right? It's like
exactly. You can't take that for granted.
Anything else you wanna touch on? Anything else you wanna say to the camera while you're here?
Stay safe up there.
Stay safe.
Train hard.
Train hard. Don't do drugs.
Yeah. Right now my back, I jacked up my back a little bit, so I've been out for like probably a month. Yeah, just a month now. So I'm definitely reassessing.
Or all broken.
Yeah. Yeah. So just injury prevention and don't take your body for granted.
Max, I feel like there's a lot more we could talk about. There are things, but thank you so much for your time, buddy. Appreciate it. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. This is good. Definitely got to do it again.